And this actually is something that you guys should know about when dealing with diamondback terrapins. Just add some of that salt, control that fungus. Hey there, good looking. She's kind of, man, that actually went right in my face. He was just getting rid of a little salt. Oh, I'm loving life. How you doing, everybody? What's happening? Beautiful, beautiful, warm day. Been working my butt off out here in the yard. We've got animals. We've got things being built for animals. Oh yeah, but that's another video. I've got a lot of lumber. Okay, I'm doing things. There's all kinds of things happening out here, out there. There's things going on. But today, we're not talking about that.
Thank you to our amazing supporters who help to make this show possible every week. Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Kamp Kenan. This week's special shout out goes to Blake Van Wicken. Thank you for all you do and for loving reptiles.
We're going to be asking, or rather answering, your guys' questions, and that's what's happening. And so right now, why don't I pull out the old phone right here, because I'm going to cheat and answer a couple of questions, and we're going to use the phone where it has the actual questions. Okay. Hi, Kenan and Tom. Any tips on stopping the fungus growing on the skin of my diamondback terrapins? I know brackish water is a good way, but they live in a pond with freshwater fish, so I can't use that. Thanks. Regards, Thomas Cleary. Hey, Thomas. What's up, dude? Yeah, those are some awesome little animals you got there, the terrapins. Let's go ahead and look at mine. We moved him over here. Oh, there he is. There he is. There's a video coming up about this. But right now, let's look at it. Let's have a look at this beautiful little hatchling. And this actually is something that you guys should know about when dealing with the diamondback terrapins. Now, diamondback terrapins that you hatch and raise up in freshwater will not develop that fungus, okay? They never get it. They're used to the water they're growing up in, and it's not an issue. That's why it's always best if you have a diamondback terrapin that was hatched in fresh water and has been living in fresh water its whole life. Now, that being said, you've actually got some terrapins that must have been raised up in brackish water, so acclimating them is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but not impossible. If you have a large pond, you can go get something called freshwater salt. Now, it is salt, but it doesn't raise the salinity so much that it's going to affect your freshwater fish. That's a very important thing that you would have to do. Just add some of that salt to the aquarium or to the pond, and that is going to help you guys out control that fungus. Now, there's another product that all freshwater turtle enthusiasts should have. It's called acroflavin. And acroflavin is kind of a medicine that you add to the water. Let's get this little guy back in here. See you later, little guy. Whoop. Oh, right away. Acroflavin is something that you can use for freshwater turtles, and it is a really good medication. It does really stain your hands, so you got to be careful of it, but it will eventually come off. What I would suggest is check out acroflavin, and you can take the turtles out and do a mild bath with that, or you can even do a mild bath in betadine. Control the fungus, add that salt water to the enclosure, to the pond, and that should do it for you. You know, you can even use, guys, I've used in the past water softener salt, just as long as it's regular salt, not any of the additives and stuff like that. So that would be my advice. If you are worried about this fish, though, and you're worried about the salinity, I would then implore you to maybe put the turtles, spinning all over the place, put the turtles in a separate enclosure and house them in there, because if they keep getting skin fungus, it's because their habitat is not correct, and that's just going to cause more problems for those animals. You wouldn't want to kill them now, would you? All right, now we're moving on. What do we got here? This is a good one from Andy J. And that one was from our friend Thomas Cleary. So there you go, Thomas. Andy J. has a question. He says, I have a year-old rhino iguana currently, and I'm getting 2 more soon. How would you recommend I go about introducing them? I will have 1.2 and don't know if I should go for as an introduction when they're still young, or maybe wait a few years until they're a bit older. Okay. Number 1, it is almost unheard of. You can kind of see I actually have some rhinos right here, and these little guys get spazzy, so we're going to be careful with them. But if you guys look, I actually have 1.2 here in this enclosure, and I'm not going to get close because I don't want these guys to freak out. I'm just going to open it and talk to them. This one's definitely going to bolt, but the two females are up there, and there's Stumpy right there. Usually with these guys, settle down, settle down. They're still very, very shy and nervous. So I'm just going to hang out here and let them do their thing. But yeah, guys, so here's the deal, Andy. It's almost unheard of to have 1.2 that get along. Because what will happen eventually with these lizards is the females are going to get older and they're going to wind up getting territorial themselves. So if you are going to do an introduction, it's best to do them while they're young. Now, that being said, you know, there's nothing that says that they're going to get along as they get older. So I would be very, very careful of introducing them for the long haul. Oh, look at Slinks. This is craziness. So basically, guys, I would make sure that you do not, I don't want these guys to get freaked out, so we're going to move along. And we're going to go in with Guaps and Lola. What I would say is do not, you may have to separate them is what I'm going to say. The females will actually fight other females. They're very territorial, both males and females, and usually they'll only accept one male and one female in an enclosure. So here's Guapo right now, and Guapo's got Lola, and you guys have been following, those of you who've been following the channel for a while now, know that Guapo and Lola have their own squabbles. Look at her. Hey there, good looking. She's kind of ruling the roost while he's up here doing his thing. Ugh, man, that actually went right in my face, dude. Thank you very much. He was just getting rid of a little salt. Iguanas will breathe out, they'll snort out excess salt from their nostrils. And that's actually something that the marine iguana does, and they do it to such a degree. Oh, you guys got a little salt right there on the lens. Marine iguanas will do that, and they can be seen doing that when they're basking on the lava rocks on the shore of the Galapagos Islands. They sneeze out, and they just spray out that excess salt. Well, these iguanas do it as well. So you can kind of see how iguanas were already predisposed to being able to, you know, live near salty water environments. So that's a really cool adaptation. And then, of course, the marine iguanas really exploited that and specialized themselves to living in a marine environment. But again, Andy, answering your question, you can see these two have been together for many, many years. Since August of 2004, they were hatchlings that were raised up together. And now they kind of live here. Now, one of the things I've noticed over the past few years is that they've stopped breeding. And I think that's because they're tired of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm building new lizard enclosures, and I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to give them an entirely new enclosure, and hopefully that will kind of spark a little bit of love between these two critters, a little bit of love between Lola and Guapo. Guapo, you over there? I can't see. Hey man, there you go. He knows his name, so he listens to me when I say his name. And you can kind of just see up there, she's now expelling some salt too. And we'll see rather, by putting them in a new environment, in a new habitat, they're probably going to go ahead and just start breeding again. And they'll have to reestablish everything. So it's very interesting. Very interesting when dealing with these animals, to get them to breed and get them excited again about each other. Let's go ahead and get a little sheds. We just peel off a little sheds. That's got to be a little itchy, don't you think? A little itchy? Oh, look how beautiful she is. That is a really beautiful gal. So, answer to your question, Andy, you're going to have to be very careful. You have to be very careful when it comes to actually introducing these guys. Be careful and keep an eye on them. They may not stay together for long in a trio. In fact, I'm sure that the guys up front that I was dealing with a little bit earlier, I'm going to have to separate them as well, because eventually those females are going to get on each other's nerves, and they're going to start fighting for the basking spots, for egg-laying spots, and they're going to be fighting for the attention of the male, believe it or not. So there is two questions. Two bets. Today answered. And as always, guys, I am working hard out here on the camp. We've got more videos coming up to where we are actually... Hey, dude, can you say hello, everyone? Just say hello because they love you, man. They love you, Slinky. Since we're talking about really cool lizards, got to see Slinky. So, yes, I will be building some very cool lizard enclosures. And for those of you who join me on my Monday Lives on Patreon, you guys know what I'm getting. So pretty exciting. A few of you guys know what I'm getting. I can guarantee you that it is going to be a really amazing enclosure for a more amazing reptile. I cannot wait until you guys see what I'm getting. It's a bucket list reptile for me for sure. I'll give you a hint. It's large. All right, everyone. Well, there you go. There's some lumber out there that I've burned. I did a really fun thing where you take a propane torch, you burn it. It Shoshujiban. My friend Chad House taught me how to do it. It helps preserve the wood, and I actually think it gives it a really cool look as well. So there's a little behind the scenes as to what I'm onto. There's a little hide box that I'm going to have for this animal. We're going to fix that up, and soon there is going to be a new lizard member. Oh, did I say? Oh, that's another hint. Oh boy, what do you think it is? I'll tell you what. Leave your guesses in the comments below as to what crazy new reptile I'm going to be getting here at the camp. As always, it's an animal that needs a home. We just happen to have a nice home here. All right, everyone, there you go. Another question answered. 2 questions answered. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'm ducking out of here, and I'm going to dunk you guys in the water to see the beautiful cichlids. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the serenity.